Welcome back, Alpha Strikers, for the first edition of Mikeneto's Monthly Meta Militia. And today we'll be covering every figure that I've discovered or played with in the Deadpool and X-force set that I feel has excellent meta potential. Now again, these are figures that have proven themselves on the battlefield time and time again, either for or against me, and I feel that pound for pound they operate as MVPs. Up first, we'll go with Deadpool number 1A, as well as all of his shifting focus versions, because if you're going to play one, you might as well play them all. Just his overall versatility for what he can do across all of his different versions, he shows up in my games where I'm looking to win many times. You guys saw me run the Deadpool and the X-force Prime version, or for Deadpool in his X-Men outfit with a Hulkbuster torso. The X-force version with the teleporter, which has proven itself to be very useful. I played the keychain version, which has its uses in certain points, and even the common and uncommon. The uncommon can bust through stealth, and the common is a great close combat attacker with the Spider-Man team ability. And then the bathrobe versions, if you happen to be running a theme team of that particular keyword, having that probability control for those characters and a perplex for himself with that defend 18. This guy is all over the place. Absolutely amazing. The one downside that I'm going to say that he has is if somebody catches you on a dial where you're not able to survive very well, they can punch you down past to your 8th click, and then you're done for. But a smart player, as long as you can make those switches at the right time, get what you need when you need it, this Deadpool is going to be worth every last point of the 75 points that you're using to put him on your team. Make him better? Well, you guys saw it in the ROC videos. Give him some defense for his regenerative version, or possess him with something like Eclipso. And whenever you need those heals, just push him and maybe get a 3 back out of it, and just have him be a battery to take mastermind damage. And you saw it in our battle box video with Heroclix. Use those bathrobe Deadpools to beef up your whole team. He's all over the place, but he's got everything you need for 75 points. Up next, Dreadpool, number 1B, the Prime, Common Prime. This guy, when he hit the board, at first I saw him and I said, how are you ever going to rely on that dial? It's absolutely chaotic. What's this guy doing? He's got Steel Energy, and then at the beginning of your first turn, you choose a named keyword that an opposing character possesses. At the end of your turn, you can give him a free action to make a close or range attack targeting a single character with a chosen keyword if he has not attacked any character with a chosen keyword this turn. So you can pick one particular target on their team that has a named keyword and make that free attack with your damage depletion modifier if you attack somebody else on the team. Or if they're a theme team, you can just take a free shot at the end of every turn. And with his 12 attack, Pensai, 3 damage, perplex, 18 defense, super senses, running shot, 8 range, 2 bolts, top loaded with Steel Energy, his whole dial. You can see the regen on those last 3 clicks. Yeah, he's got powers all over the place, but for 130 points, he's a beast to take down. The one thing I'm going to say, if you manage to get him with a precision strike and get him down to regen and then double tap him, he's done. And that's 130 points in your pocket. That's his main weakness. But, to make him better, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Give him a Hulkbuster torso. Give him a damage reducer. He's got Steel Energy and regen. He's going to get knocked down and he's going to come back. Also pair him with taxis like You Go Girl to get him in position and then take that free shot when you want it. We're going to do an honorable mention for Cable, number 14. We did an entire video on this with a giveaway, so I'm not going to cover this here. If you guys want, go check out that video. I cover him in depth, but he is on the Meta Militia. Up next, number 18, Domino, Uncommon. This Domino has proven herself every time that she's been on the board, against me or for me. The other day I was playing against Dano, and she went toe-to-toe with 200-point Dark Angel and lasted 10 turns. Now you might be asking, how on earth did she do that? Dark Angel was down a little bit, and she's got probability control traded. When opposing character rerolls an attack targeting Domino, immediately modify the attacker's attack and damage values by -1. So he's doing Flurry on me, and he'd go to Flurry and then make him reroll his first attack, and he was trying to hit me with a 9 against my combat reflexes with, at the time it was a 16, so 9 on an 18, and he just couldn't hit me. I reduce his attack and his damage, and he just kept missing. And then he'd spend a turn to regen, and then he'd miss, and I'd hit him, and he'd spend a turn to regen. We just went back and forth. And for 90 points, standing up to a 200-point character and holding her own, she impressed me. And then having running shot and stealth traded with precision strike and that problem control with X-Men team, she's just got everything you need in all the right places. Weaknesses, no damage reducers. If she doesn't have stealth and gets shot, or somebody outwits her combat reflexes because you didn't put her in hindering terrain, she's going to get thumped and is going to die for it, pretty much. But overall, again, no defensive reducer. Give her a boost to her defense. Give her some enhancements so she can shoot better and stronger. Maybe even pair her with Rachel Alves. Give her the Pensai so you can shoot from the hindering. And really just dish out the damage for 90 points on that Domino. Up next, rare, number 46, Dupe. Yeah, I have to say the name that way, just Dupe. I recommend him at his 35 points, but at 90 points, he's still no laughing matter. For 35 points, you get Sidestep, Impervious, that's Invincible, and Prod Control, with his special, the unimaginable power of Dupe, because the power of Dupe compels you. You just get to use this as a power action whenever you like. He does not have Indom, but he is tiny size and flies. And so, every other turn, or if you happen to hit the one where he gets Power Cosmic, you can just push him for that. He also has regen on the second click, so if you time it right, he gets hit once, goes down to that, and regen him up. But, he's great on a X-Statics team, but he's a really great support piece in that just bag of tricks that you can pull out and maybe rain down some Mjolnirs on somebody for 35 points. It's worth it every time. You need prob, pull Dupe. That's all you need. Weaknesses, I'm going to go with that extremely short dial, one outwit on that Invincible, and pop, there goes 35 points. He's done. All of his bag of tricks and everything out the window. To make him better, run him with X-Statics. Run him with somebody who's going to take advantage of that prob control. At 35 points, he's really just support at that point for you. Really cost effective. Up next, Dead Girl, number 51. Another X-Statics team member. She has made the list because of her special attack power. She can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, and until the end of turn, characters hit by Dead Girl can't use Stop. So I haven't run into a lot of stop figures with her, but when you hit them and just not being able to use those stop clicks, you could take them down really quickly, things like World War Hulk or Doomsday. Then also her trait, at the beginning of your turn, if she has at least one headline token, heal her one click. If she has at least 3 headline tokens, when she would be KO'd, you can instead turn her to click 3 and remove all of her headline tokens. She gets a headline token whenever she successfully hits somebody. When I've played her, that trait has been the linchpin of this character. If I get 1 token on her, she's got enough that I can get her in there, get her out of there, get her healed back up, hide somewhere and get back in the fight, and eventually get up to 3. If you don't get 1 headline token on her really quick, she's going to go down like a chump, because that's just what happens with her every time I played her. If I had 1 headline token, she was basically invincible. I don't know what the magic is behind that, but she was. If she didn't get 1, she just pushed out and died. She does have X-Men TA, so pair her with some wild cards or people who can heal her up until you get that headline token, and that way you can really see the magic that she has. Again, weakness, without those headline tokens, she's just going to die. Make her better. Give her some perplexes to make sure she gets that first hit in there with exploit blades and charge, and then of course sidestep, which she can then move away, or give her somebody who can heal her up in case you don't get those headline tokens. She starts going down pretty quick. Up next, Mistress Death, number 52. Now, this is really a double-edged sword for Mistress Death. She's making the meta list just because of those Touch of Death tokens, where when she hits with a close attack, immediately place a Touch of Death token on the target's card if it doesn't already have one. For the rest of the game, when a character with a Touch of Death token is dealt damage by an attack, double the damage dealt. Now, this is only close combat attacks, so you have to get her in there, but she does have a 12 attack, and as soon as she hits, that means the 2 that she would normally do is doubled, and up to 4. And then she also has a trait that if she's not the only character on the board when she would be KO'd, you can place her in your starting area on click 3 with 2 action tokens, but your opponent still scores 100 points. She has power cosmic and has 10 range with pulse wave and shape change. So she's got her defenses covered. She's really good offensively. The problem is getting her in there and getting those attacks done. Her weakness, again, because the touch of death is only close combat, you're looking at getting her in there, and then your opponent's just going to focus fire and score themselves an easy 100 points, and then she's going to go back to the starting area. But for everybody that you hit with those touch of death tokens, they're going to go down fast. To make her better, I've talked about this previously. Give her the Harley's Hammer for Giant Reach Quake. That way everybody you hit takes 4 damage, gets a death token, gets knocked back. You've got that great range, and then just pair with some TK or some form of taxi like the Raven from Wonder Woman to be able to get them in there. And just wreck house, sacrifice those 100 points, and make sure you've got a good solid follow-up force to start putting holes in things and finish them off. Up next, Swarm, number 54. This character has been absolutely amazing when I played against him and when he's played for me. The big thing here is his trait that says, unless the roll is doubles, Swarm takes no more than 1 damage from attacks, period. So that's from an attack. Knockback damage, if he didn't have flying, would be off elevation, would take 2, but he still takes 1 for hitting into a wall. He would also still take 1 for poison, and other modifiers like the touch of death tokens would still increase that if the damage was not attacked. Otherwise, unless it's doubles on the hit, he's only taking 1. Really makes his life bar substantial, and he starts off with super senses and shape change, so that's a double rollout. And then every time he hits an opposing character after action resolve, you put those bee swarm bystanders into play if they're adjacent to that character, unless there already is one. So they can't be adjacent already, but these bees have poison, and with poison now being something that can happen during your turn if you haven't been placed or moved, then you could shoot everybody, hit him with the bees, and then he's got outwit, which he could see over the tiny bees, outwit your defense, and then poison the heck out of you. So that could really be helpful. They're also great for tie-ups with 15 super senses. I played a game with this where I just kept tying my opponent up with bees. I'd shoot them, drop a bee, and then they're like, well, I have to deal with this bee or breakaway, and they either failed the breakaway or killed the bee. I'm like, oh no, you killed my bee. So Pog generators, they're definitely something that is considered high level meta currently. Latter half of his dial, he gets hypersonic with precision strike, 2 damage and outwit, which he gets to move around a bit. And then weakness here, of course, outwitting one of those 2 or both of his rollouts, and then figuring out a way to get past that trait to where you can deal more damage. I mean, just happen to hit the doubles on the roll to make sure your damage goes all the way through. It's a real luck-based kind of thing. But to make him better, I've heard talk of giving him energy explosion. There's a couple different sources right now that hand that out, and everybody who's hit by that energy explosion gets a bee placed adjacent to them if there isn't one already adjacent. So that could be a high level potential of a lot of bees really quick. So that's Swarm for 120 points. Again, worth every penny that you're paying for him. Up next, number 59B, Whiz Kid. Now, I've poo-pooed this character several times, but the meta potential here is undeniable. For 25 points, anybody who is a friendly adjacent modifies their attack, range, and damage values by +1. There's quite a few characters I can think about putting 25 points next to them and just boosting them for more range. Nick Balls of Fury, you could do Mistress Death, you could do Cable, you could do Dreadpool. There's a lot of different characters that could really benefit from just those 3 boosters and just be a cannon that just blowing your opponent up. Weakness, extremely short dial, doesn't start with sidestep, and he's going to be easy to pick off. I mean, 4 damage, he's done. Outwit with 3 damage, he's done. And if your opponent doesn't like you getting those boosters, you're handing over 25 points to, your opponent right from the word go. Hopefully, that'll put them in a position where you can retaliate, try and get those points back. Chances are it's not going to happen. Make him better, give him people to hide behind. He can't carry because he's flying. Give him a good defensive position. People with barrier like Green Lantern, super rare. Bury him in, keep him safe. Pass off damage onto things like Bizarro Green Arrow. Did I say Green Arrow, Green Lantern? Super rare Green Lantern, and then pass off damage to characters like Bizarro Green Arrow and Bizarro Hawk Girl. But just do whatever you can to keep him alive and take advantage of those shooty McShootersons while you can. Lastly, for our Meta Militia monthly for Deadpool and X-force, Deadpool Merc with a Mouth. For his amazing 70 points with his title character abilities and everything he has to offer with an 8-click deep dial. I've seen this guy run, and it frightens me to see somebody sit in the back and roll up those tokens and then suddenly be able to running shot out into the field, shoot one character, and then slow-mo bullet time everybody else. And then run away. And then heal up and do it again. This guy, when he's on the field, you have to go after him. You have to go after him now. And you have to make sure that you're getting him down as quickly as possible, because if you don't, he's just going to come right back. He can heal and shoot you, and then heal and shoot you, and then heal, and then heal and shoot you, and then heal and shoot you. And if you're not constantly hitting him to get him dead, he's just going to be on the field, getting stronger as he goes, and then he's going to slow-mo bullet time you. Weaknesses, no defensive reducers, but he does have ESDs, so it's going to be hard to shoot him. And he has combat reflexes, so it's going to be hard to punch him. And he has regen for 2 clicks with decent defense values most of his dial. So it's one of those things that you really have to almost triple tap this guy to finish him off. But without the reducers, it can be done. To make him better, I keep saying it, give him defensive reducers. Make it much harder to kill him, and then give him some additional powers. He's pretty naked as far as his attack power goes. He could really use some pen side, pulse wave, energy explosion. A lot of things can hand that out right now, and for 70 points. The other downside to him is if he is KO'd, you're going to lose a whole turn because of it. Everybody on the map gets 2 action tokens, so you have to clear, and your opponent gets a chance to either push their attack or get a full clear, and then basically the whole battle resets itself. But overall, I've already seen him in the meta circuit a couple times. He didn't perform as well as I think people would have hoped him to, but I also didn't see anybody do the running shot and then slow-mo bullet time. So little tip there if you're going to do that. Wind him up, throw him out there, double shoot, and run away. Well, that has been the super fast and meta-friendly Mikeneto's monthly Meta Militia for Deadpool and X-force. Please like it, sub it, share it, and until next time, remember, strike first and strike hard.